प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, we welcome all of you for the today's morning program Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Satcitanaya Gauranga Prabhu, Satcitanaya Gaura Prabhu. And today we'll be starting the new chapter from 4th canto, 24th. Prabhu will cover verses 1 to 6. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyarishatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiriye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Hare Krishna. Pranams to everyone. Today's shloka is Canto 4, Srimad Bhagavatam, 24th chapter, shloka number 1. Maitreya Uvacha Vijitatsvo Adhira Jasid Prithuputra Prithushravah Yavi Yobhyo Tadatkashtha Prathrubhyo Bhratuvatsalah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya continued. Vijitaswa, the eldest son of Maharaja Prithu, who had a reputation like his father's, became emperor and gave his younger brothers different directions of the world to govern, for he was very affectionate towards his brothers. Purport: after describing the life and character of Maharaja Prithu in the various chapters, the great sage Maitreya began to speak about the sons and grandsons in the genealogical line of the Prithu dynasty. After the death of Prithu Maharaj, his eldest son Vijitatswa became emperor of the world. King Vijitatswa was very affectionate towards his younger brothers, and therefore he wanted them to rule different directions of the world. From time immemorial, the eldest son generally becomes king after the death of the previous king. When the Pandavas ruled earth, Maharaja Yudhishthira, the eldest son of King Pandu, became emperor and his younger brothers assisted him. Similarly, King Vijitatswa younger brothers were appointed to govern the different directions of the world. Shloka number 2. Haryakshadi Shatprachim Dhumrakeshaya Dakshinam Pratichim Vrkasankaya Turyam Dravinase Vibhu. Translation: Maharaja Vijitaswa, after the offered the eastern part of the world to his brother Haryaksha, the southern part to Dhumrakesha, and the western part to Vrka, and the northern part to Dravina. Antardhanagatim Shakral Labdhvan Antardhana Sangitaha Apatyatra Madhatta Shikhandinyam Susammatam. Formerly, Maharaja Vijitaswa pleased the king of heaven Indra and from him received the title Antardhana. His wife's name was Shikhandini, and by her he begot 3 good sons. Purport: Maharaja Vijitaswa was known as Antardhana, which means disappearance. He received this title from Indra, and it refers to the time when Indra stole Maharaja Prithu's horse from the sacrificial arena. Indra was not visible to others when he was stealing the horse, but Prithu Maharaj's son Vijitaswa could see him. Yet, despite his knowing that Indra was taking away his father's horse, Vijitaswa did not attack him. This indicates that Maharaja Vijitaswa respected the right persons. Although Indra was stealing the horse from his father, Vijitaswa knew perfectly well that Indra was not an ordinary thief. Since Indra was a great and powerful demigod and servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vijitaswa purposefully excused him due to sentiment only, even though Indra was acting wrongly. Thus, Indra became very pleased with Vijitaswa at that time. The demigods have the great mystic power of being able to appear and disappear according to their will. And since Indra was very pleased with Vijitaswa, he bestowed this mystic power upon him. Thus, Vijitaswa became known as Antardhana. Pavakah Pavamanascha Shuchi Rityagnaya Pura Vasishta Shapa Drutpannaha Punar Yoga Gatim Gataha. Translation: the 3 sons of Maharaja Antardhana were named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Shuchi. Formerly, these 3 personalities were the demigods of fire, but due to the curse of great sage Vasishta, they became the sons of Maharaja Antardhana. As such, they were as powerful as the fire gods, and they attained the destination of mystic yoga power, being again situated as the demigods of fire. Purport: in Bhagavad Gita 6.41 to 43, it is stated that one who falls down from yoga practice is elevated to the heavenly planets, and after enjoying the material facilities there, he again comes down to the earthly planet and takes birth in a very rich family or very pious Brahmana family. Thus, it is to be understood that when demigods fall down, they come to earth as sons of very rich and pious families. In such families, the living entity gets an opportunity to execute Krishna consciousness and thereby gain promotion to his desired goal. The sons of Maharaja Antardhana had been the demigods in charge of fire, and they again regained their former position by the mystic power returned to the heavenly planets. Antardhano Nabaswatyam Havirdhana, Mavindata, Ya Indramashva Hartaram, Vidwan Api, Na Jagnivan. Maharaja Antardana had another wife named Nabhaswati, and by her he was happy to beget another son named Havirdhana. Since Maharaja Antardana was very liberal, he did not kill Indra while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice. But it is understood from various scriptures and Puranas that the king of heaven, Indra, was very expert in stealing and kidnapping. He could steal anything without being visible to the proprietor, and he could kidnap anyone's wife without being detected. Once he raped the wife of Gautam Muni by using his disappearing art, and similarly, by becoming invisible, he stole the horse of Maharaja Prithu. Although in human society such activities are considered abominable, the demigod Indra was not considered to be degraded by them. Although Antardana could understand that King Indra was stealing the horse from his father, he did not kill Indra, for he knew that if one who is very powerful, one who is very powerful sometimes commits an abominable act, it should be disregarded. In Bhagavad Gita 9.30, it is clearly stated, Apichet Sudracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhag Sadhureva Mantavyaha Samyak Vyavastito. Thus, the Lord says that even if a devotee commits an abominable act, he should be considered a sadhu or a pious man because of his unflinching devotion to the Lord. The devotees of the Lord never willingly commit any sinful act, but sometimes they commit something abominable due to their previous habits. Such acts should not be taken very seriously. However, because the devotees of the Lord are very powerful, whether they are on the heavenly planets or on this planet, if by chance they commit something abominable, it should not be taken into account, but should be overlooked. Ragyam vrittim karadana danda shulkadi darunam manyamano dirgha satra vijena visasarjaha. Whenever Antardana, the supreme royal power, had to exact taxes, punish his citizens or fine them severely, he was not willing to do so. Consequently, he retired from the execution of such duties and engaged himself in the performance of different sacrifices. Purport. It is clear herein that king sometimes has to perform duties which are not very desirable just because he is the king. Similarly, Arjuna was not willing to fight because fighting or killing one's own kinsmen and family members is not at all desirable. Nonetheless, the Kshatriyas had to perform such undesirable actions as a matter of duty. Maharaja Antardana was not very happy while executing taxes or punishing the citizens for their criminal activities. Therefore, on the plea of performing sacrifices, he retired from the royal majestic power at a very early age. Hare Krishna. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Tamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kulpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kam karvati vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrpatamaham vande Shri Gurum Diyatarinam Ramanandamadhvam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to today's class, Canto 4, chapter 24 and first to 6th sloka. So, from first to third slokas, the genealogical order of Prithu Maharaj is described. Specifically, the sons of Prithu Maharaj and what are their good qualities. That is what is described from first to third slokas. So Prithu Maharaj had two wives, Shikhandini and Nabhaswati. So as we all know, we are studying about the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj, basically. So Dhruva Maharaj, and after several things, then Anga, then Anga's son was Vena, because Vena was too cruel. Anga Maharaj could not stand that, and he left the palace all of a sudden without informing anyone, and everyone were in dilemma as to who should be the next king. And that is because he did not actually run. It doesn't mean that he ran away. Anga Maharaj was basically, he had the constitutional duty and also the conditional position. He had some duty. So as a king, he was doing his role of king in the conditional as a conditional duty, but in his conditional position he was doing that king role of a king. But then, because it was not tolerable for him, he could not be there for a long time, and he had to leave, looking to forest to fulfill his constitutional duties, which is called as Jaiva Dharma. Every jiva has that dharma to do some activity, devotional service, which is very pleasing to their hearts, which directly gets that person in connection with the Lord. It is told in Bhagavad Gita, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam. It is done with lot of love and affection, and it is a Pratyakshavagamam. You come in directly in touch with Lord. It is not a roundabout way of worshipping Lord. Even following Varnashrama is a roundabout way of worshipping the Lord. Though the system is given by Lord only, it is a progressive approach to get that love of Lord, to get in connection with Lord. But devotional service is a direct connection. It's Pratyakshavagamam. So it was quite fitting that Anga Maharaj left looked for his constitutional activities. So that is why he left. Then after Anga Maharaj left, then Vena was very cruel. Then as we all know, we have gone through the Prithu Maharaj, this lineage, and we have studied, and that Vena was cursed to death, and then from his Vena's thigh, Prithu Maharaj appeared. Prithu Maharaj ruled the entire. Basically, this chapter, fourth canto, is Lord's, describes about Lord's how Lord protects. That is what this fourth chapter describes about. The entire Bhagavatam is described in 10 different topics. So out of that, fourth chapter specifically talks about what is Lord's, how Lord maintains jivas. That is what this fourth canto specifically talks about. So it is very befitting to understand from this point of view, and also see how Prithu Maharaj acted in the same way. Prithu Maharaj was none other than the incarnation of Lord. So Lord, every time whenever there is a problem, whenever there is any issue, Lord comes and fulfills that. He completes that. If there is, he corrects that problem. Like if there is the problem by Indra in the world, or there is some correction needed. Even when there was a lot of adharma, then Krishna appeared to resolve all those problems. So the Lord takes that role of maintaining everything. Like Brahma creates, Lord maintains, Vishnu maintains, and then Shiva destroys. So it is very difficult to maintain, first of all. So that is why that position, that role of maintaining the world is with Lord. So everywhere he appears. In fact, there is no place where Lord is not there. Everywhere, even when we eat, Lord has to digest. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva, Lord says, Krishna says. So for even eating also, even if we will simply put it in the mouth and taste it, and we will say yes, good or no. But it is our body, we should know what is happening in the body. But we don't know what's exactly happening. Lord says, I am the one who is digesting your food also. So there is no way, anything can be inseparable from Lord. Everything is closely tied with Lord. Lord says, I am your memory also. Without memory, nobody can go even home. Nobody can go anywhere. No, can't do anything. But still, we don't realize Lord's position. So everywhere, that maintenance, everything is based on Lord only. So that way, so whenever there is a trouble, Lord appears and takes that role of maintaining and restoring the peace. So that way, Prithu Maharaj appeared and he first of all corrected everything and then gave a good in general life to all the citizens, and then instructed them in the devotional service, how they should respect Vaishnavas, Brahmanas, all that he did. So after that, now as a duty, Prithu Maharaj was performing Ashwamedha Yajna. Ashwamedha Yajna, if 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas are done, then that particular person, that particular king will get the position of Indra. So then what is the why was Prithu Maharaj interested in doing Ashwamedha Yajna? Was he really interested in taking the role of Indra? Certainly not. Actually, Prithu Maharaj was doing it as a duty. It is a duty of all the Kshatriyas to establish their reign and make sure that any discrepancy in his kingdom will not be tolerated. Especially discrepancies in terms of spiritual order. If somebody is to deviate, then it's very important that those people should be dealt strongly. It is not in the name that he is a king, and he is not in the name that they have got some army. They get down and fight. That is why the position of king is very crucial and important. So that fear of king should be there. So that way, so that is the reason. And also they were very pious and they used to do all the necessary yajnas to maintain that that relation, that respect, that coordination with the devatas. So Krishna says, Adibhutam, Adidaivika, Adibhuta, and Adhyatmika, right? So there are three dimensions. There are in this world. We can see that there are three powers, not powers. We should say three different stakeholders. I should say actually. So jivas are supposed to offer yajna. Jiva can directly offer yajna to Lord, but there are other yajnas also done for demigods. And demigods, when they are pleased, they give rain, sunshine, good light, everything, and so they maintain these universal affairs. So that is how it is all connected. But Lord is different from all this. Lord is the Lord is the basic, we can call infrastructure, or Lord is the Sutre Manigana Iva, like that. So Lord is telling, I am like that thread on which all these are assembled. These monies are assembled. So who are the monies? These devatas, jivas, and they're all interconnected. So that way, so kings offer their yajnas to demigods also. So they used to properly do their yajnas so that demigods are satisfied, and they give appropriate rain at appropriate time. Sometimes demigods also get puffed up, like Indra became puffed up during, when Krishna said, no, we will worship Govardhan instead of Indra. So that also happened. So at that time, the entire system is disrupted. Then Lord has to come appear in some form and then correct everything. For example, like in case of Prahlad Maharaj, there was Hiranyakashipu had to turned everything upside down. He was entire nobody was, all the Brahminical culture was being destroyed. He was destroying all the forests. He was building buildings, and cow worship was destroyed. Wherever there will yajna will happen, he will come and destroy. So everything was changed. But there was only one pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, for whom actually Lord appeared. Just one devotee, pure devotee, because of whom everything again came back to the proper way. So that way, Lord appears in appropriate form to correct things. So, okay, we will. So Vijitashva Prithu Maharaj's son was also like him in executing his duty. So at that time, several times, during the last yajna, 100th yajna, several times this horse was stolen, and Vijitashva will go back after Indra, but then he will not do, seeing that he's a sadhu, he has come as a sadhu, he will not do anything, he will come back. Then he knew, even later, after second time also, he knew that it was Indra who is trying to steal. Then even then he will not do anything, will not do. So because they knew the position of Indra, and they were not doing 100 sacrifices just for the sake of completing it and winning the position of Indra. Prithu Maharaj interest was not to do that. The internal interest, in the name of ruling, in the name of doing yajna, in the name of doing Ashwamedha yajna, Prithu Maharaj was actually trying to satisfy the Lord. He was not after the Indra alone. He was not after becoming Indra. So it was just, so completing the process was not important than satisfying the Lord. Because see, several times, we take up some service, but sometimes it will get interrupted, some problem will happen, but that doesn't mean that Lord is not satisfied. Even whatever little we do, Lord is satisfied. Neha vikramanasho asti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. So even whatever little endeavor we do, that attracts Lord. Lord is pleased. So especially when there is a friction, when there is some difficulty between two concerned, then so it is not good to be adamant and stay focused on the process to complete it. Prithu Maharaj was not willing to do that. He was also ready to fight with Indra, but for the sake of only doing his duty, not for acquiring his Indra Padavi. He was not doing it for that. So similarly, Vijitashva also knew that it is Indra who is stealing, but still he did not act to offensively against Indra. He knew the position of Indra. So actually, if you see the entire chapter, the entire Prithu Maharaj's chapter is about the hierarchy of how things are basically. So in ruling, what is the position of a king? What is the position of Praja? And what is then? This is about the world. This is about the earth. But then, when we talk about Indra, he's Indra for so for the entire universe. So he has got his position is much higher. So it was very important for everyone to follow, and respect Indra. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining here in the 5th sloka. In the 5th sloka, although Antardana could understand the King Indra was stealing the horse from his father, he did not kill Indra, for he knew that if one who is very powerful sometimes commits an abominable act, it should be disregarded. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadureva mantavyah samyak vyavastito hisaha. So if someone is ananya bhak means ananya, without break, always, in the thought of, in the service of the Lord. If somebody is working, even if he is durachari for some, not a regular durachari, for sometimes, at times he had made mistake, then it is to be overlooked. It is not to be treated as a common affair. And then so such person is also sadhu. He is also a sadhu, and vyavastito isaha, samyak vyavastito isaha. That means samyak vyavastito isaha means he is situated properly. So in his, Prabhupada explains very, very nicely. It is, I should not say very nicely like that. I cannot comment like that. But definitely, Prabhupada has said nicely. His determination in the service of Lord is strong enough, which means if somebody is determined, there can be some negligible things that may happen here and there, but overall his determination is very strong. So if somebody is like that, then he is to be considered sadhu, sadhureva mantavyaha. He is to be considered sadhu only. So, and it is due to his these are due to his previous habits. These are due to his previous habits, which will slowly die off. So it is said, when once devotees start chanting, slowly his past previous abominable acts or previous durgunas, they will slowly vanish, and even karma will get eradicated to a good extent. Lord will minimize it, and only when there is a deviation, Lord will use it against him, not very, very heavily, but to just correct him. So it is said, suppose there is a fire, and the fire will burn with flames as long as there is a fuel. Slowly, when the fuel will cut off, then slowly the fire will also come down. It will extinguish. Similarly, when there is a break in the train, it takes a little while to go and stop. So that way, it is to be understood that these abominable acts are to be not taken so seriously. But at the same time, for the person who is doing it, he has to be very, very careful. He cannot say, he cannot take it lightly like that. It has to be he has to take it very seriously, and then put a check how he should behave. So, but definitely once a devotee is always a devotee, but for some things it has to be, he has to take care of his character. He has to be sadachari. So he should turn one by one slowly. He should reduce his problems, and then he should try to solve it slowly with the help of devotees. He can definitely do that. So if you see, no one is actually perfect. Even if we take rishis, many rishis, for example, Vasishta and Nimi, they had a great fight. They were cursing each other. Once Vasishta Nimi wanted to do some sacrifice, But then he appointed Vasishtha, but Vasishtha was already booked, and he had to do the same kind of yajna for Indra. But then since Vasishtha was busy, then Nimi Maharaj thought he will go ahead and do the sacrifice, because life is very short. So better let me complete this yajna. So then when he started, then Vasishtha came back and he saw that Nimi Maharaj has already started this yajna. He became very angry. Then they both cursed each other, and they cursed each other off to get devoid of their body. So then again Vasishtha again born back, got his body back through Varuna and one more demigod. So and then, but Nimi Maharaj did not get his body. He was there as a in his original form. So he didn't want to get his body. He wanted to serve his body, serve the Supreme Lord. So he was serving the Supreme Lord in his spiritual body only. So that way, so even rishis, even if you see Brahma, Lord Brahma also made a mistake, and he played a trick on Krishna himself. So and then Chitraketu Maharaj became a Gandharva, and then he was roaming around, singing the kirtans of Lord. But then when he saw Parvati Devi sitting on Lord Shiva's lap, and that too amidst of all the rishis, then he could not control his smile. He kind of laughed. So but Shiva did not bother about this. He did not even respond to that, because he is not concerned about anything. He is only in the thoughts of the Lord. But then this did not go well with Parvati, and then Parvati cursed Chitraketu Maharaj, and then he became the Rakshasa Vritasura. So this way, so everyone make mistake. Even Lord Shiva wanted to see the form of Mohini Murti, and so then he again slipped. So that way, so other than Lord, nobody is actually very perfect. So at this, but this should not be kind of permit. One devotee should not think, or anybody should not think that Indra did like this. Brahma has done like this. They are all very, very powerful. They are all very powerful demigods. They are always in the thought of Lord. They are actually working for the Lord. We may say they are not pure devotees, but still they are far, far better, because they are higher demigods, and they are always in the thought of Lord. They are working for the Lord directly. But sometimes, but not like devotees. When we talk of Indra, I remember this Pasuram song is there. Pachima Malipolmini, Pavalavai Kamala Chingan, Achuta Amarere, Ayardam Kunde. So one Alvar is singing like this. So his form of the Lord is like a big green mountain, and his lotus lips and red, beautiful lotus-like eyes. And when he leaving all this, even if somebody gives me Indra Loka, Ichuvai Tavira Yan Poi, if after leaving all this, Indra Loka Madam, if somebody is giving me Indra Loka, even if you give that, I don't want it. Like that, devotee is singing, Alvar is singing. So, of course, this is Sri Vaishnava Acharya, Alvar, who is singing. And then, but when we talk about Indra Loka and Vaikunta, all that, I am remembered of Rupa Goswami's comparison, where Rupa Goswami Prabhupada is comparing how Mathurapuri is greater than Vaikunta, and how Vrindavan is greater than Mathurapuri, and how in Vrindavan Govardhan is greater, and how being in Radhakund and Shamakund is greater than Govardhan. So like that. So Rupa Goswami Prabhupada is giving insights into the deeper concepts of love. How how deeper and how devotees love the Lord. For his each and every pastime, and these are all more melodious pastimes that they relish. So that way, yes. So yes, Lord, devotees are not much interested in the Indraloka or any other position. So all they want is to serve the Lord, serve the Lord. So it is in Bhagavad Gita. It is mentioned anapeksha, anapeksha suchir dakshaha. Like that, it is mentioned anapeksha suchir dakshaha. अनपेक्ष सुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः. So in 12th chapter, Krishna is giving some 6 shlokas where he is telling, who is dear to me, who is dear to me, who is dear to me. Like that 6 shlokas he is giving. So in that one of the shlokas, it is said sarvarambha parityagi. Sarvarambha parityagi. All the endeavors they give it up for Lord. Like Prithu Maharaj did. 99 Ashwamedha Yagyas they have completed. Only one is left. So Vijitashva could have said, Lord King Indra, that what are you doing, Indra? No, we are doing devotional service. We are doing yagya because we we are the appointed kings. When Prithu Maharaj is the appointed king, and I am the next king to be. So we are doing the right thing by doing Ashwamedha Yagya. Why don't you allow us to do? And we are also doing devotional service. We are also doing. So they could have confronted Indra, saying this, why are you not allowing us to do this? But that is not the point. The point is how people gel with each other, whether they are fighting or they are interested in simply completing the process. Simply completing the process, it doesn't work out. It doesn't matter. Maybe the process is half. Like take the example of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam writing. Prabhupada could not complete all the chapters, all the volumes of Bhagavatam. But does that mean Prabhupada is any less? No. Prabhupada has completed 10 volumes, and after that, Prabhupada's disciple continued. But Prabhupada's value doesn't get any less. He's Mahabhagavata, right? We cannot. It can never. It won't say, nobody will say. In fact, no acharyas in the previous history also has completely written Bhagavatam. They have translated or write the meaning of Bhagavatam. So that way, so it is not the completion of one activity, but it is how much endeavor one is putting and how he is gelling with each other when in completing this activity. That is more important. So Prithu Maharaj and Vijitashva basically demonstrated this entire thing. So coming to this point, right? So as we said, no one is perfect. So one time during Samudra Manthan, first of all, Allah comes. Lord Shiva takes it, and then horse comes, which is called Uchchaishvara. Then Airavat comes, then Kaustuba comes, then Uchchaishvara goes to Bali Maharaj, then the elephant Airavat goes to Indra, and then Kaustubamani is offered to Lord. And then later Ma Lakshmi comes, Mother Lakshmi comes. When Mother Lakshmi is coming, Mother Lakshmi, who is Kshirabdi, in Telugu there is one song, Kshirabdi Kanyakaku Sri Mahalakshmi ki Nirajanam. Like that, there is one song. So Kshirabdi, the Dugdha Sagar, the ocean of milk. She is daughter of ocean of milk, and she is given Nirajanam. So she is given Abhisheka. When she comes, Mother Lakshmi is given Abhisheka by everyone. Earth gives lot of herbals, herbal medicines, and then Mother Lakshmi always has lotus in her hands. Like that, everyone is giving paraphernalias, and Mother Earth is Lakshmi is worshipped. She is given abhishek, and then after that, and there is one more shloka basically, Kshira Samudra Rajatanaya, like that they say. So Kshira Samudra, milk ocean. So she is the daughter of milk ocean. And then when Mother Lakshmi, why I am saying all this, when Mother Lakshmi, after Abhishek, she is looking for shelter. So when Mother Lakshmi is looking at all the demigods, Indra, Chandra, everyone, she contemplates, she is examining each and everyone. She is examining. So she is examining all the demigods. If somebody is having good knowledge, he is not very very kind to another person. If somebody is having very good knowledge, he is having lusty desires. If somebody is very strong, he is not very kind. And if somebody is renounced, but still he doesn't have a very auspicious qualities. For example, it is told about, Prabhupada explains about Shiva. Shiva is very renounced, almost perfect, but he doesn't have that auspiciousness as Lord Mukunda. So he is always in the smashan. So like that, Mother Lakshmi is contemplating each and every person. And then it is told, whenever we discuss Ramayana, I heard in previous lectures also, when we talk about Masita, we compare Masita to Jivas. How Jiva should look for the perfect person and then surrender to him. That way, so through Acharya, through who is Lakshmana, through Acharya, she offended Lakshmana. That's why she had to be away from Lord Ram. So that way, here also, if we compare Mother Lakshmi is, if you compare with Jiva, Jiva should take to the Supreme Lord. No one else but Supreme Lord is perfect in every way. So that way, Mother Lakshmi at last found all the qualities, Sarva Guna Sampanna, they say. So at last, she found all the qualities in Lord, and then she offered a garland to Lord. And then Lord placed her in his chest. So that way, so no one was perfect. The point is, no one whom she examined was perfect other than the Supreme Lord. So it is very important to look, even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, while discussing, while talking about one of his disciples, how he forgave him, and then he got him back into his hermitage. So that is also, we know about that pastime also. So he wanted to, that devotee wanted to come back, but it was not clear whether he is allowed or not. Then when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur expressed that he should come back, then he was very glad and he came back. So yesterday we celebrated Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day. So we will slightly touch upon the pastimes and his glories. So I will read from the I have a ready material. I will read that. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the guru of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, appeared in Kshetra Dham, Jagannath Puri on 6th February 1874 as the son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. In his childhood, he quickly mastered the Vedas, memorized Bhagavad Gita, and relished his father's philosophical works. He became known as the living encyclopedia for his vast knowledge. Srila Saraswati Thakura excavated Lord Chaitanya's appearance place at the Yoga Pit in Sridham, Mayapur. Despite heavy opposition from the money-hungry caste Goswamis of Navadvipa, he built a beautiful Gaudiya Mat temple there. Being an eternally liberated soul, Srila Saraswati Thakur knew how to perfectly engage Maya in the service of Lord Krishna. This point attracted most to me, because we are saving ourselves. But here, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is engaging Maya in the service of Lord Krishna. So, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also did a lot of preaching, and he published magazines through his printing presses. And the greatest contribution of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, whom he initiated and inspired to distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world. When Srila Prabhupada was asked to describe his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, "What can I say? He was a Vaikuntha man." So that is how, we praise the glories of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur today. So yes, so yeah, that way, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur forgave the devotee and he embraced him again so that he can continue his devotional service. So, and then Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukadeva Goswami, how can one see, to err is human, and I heard from one lecture, to err is human and then to forgive is divine. So everyone makes a mistake, but then how to rectify? What are the ways and means to rectify? So Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question to Shukadeva Goswami. If one has to commit sins again and again and atone for it, again he does a sin, again he atones. What is the point? There is no point in doing such thing, right? For that, Shukadeva Goswami says there has to be transformation in the heart, and that transformation can come in the heart only by devotional service. When one is attracted to the Lord, only then all these gunas, all these anarthas will go. So one devotee is supposed to, he has all the qualities of a demigod, it is said. So that is possible only when one attracts himself to the Lord. So how we attract? We attract by chanting the holy names of the Lord. So in Rupa Goswami Prabhupada in Nectar of Instruction mentions, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Naruchikan Kintwadarat Anudinam Kaluseva Jushta Kramad Bhavati Tadgati Mulahadri. So slowly, with respect, when one chants the holy names of Lord, slowly, whatever his past may be, he will slowly correct himself, and he will that illness called avidya, that illness called attraction to material gratification, sense gratification, that will slowly reduce, and his taste will increase for Lord. And what is the medicine for that? The medicine for that is the holy names of the Lord only, no other medicine. So the marga is also same, the goal is also same, the path is also same, the goal is also same. So this is the comparison done with jaundice. If somebody is having jaundice, what he should do? He could he should take that sweet misri. It's called misri in Hindi. He should take that misri, and when he will go on eating that slowly, that misri will cure his jaundice also. And that misri is actually very bitter when at the time of jaundice. But still he has to take it. Once he keeps on taking, that misri will start tasting, which means that jaundice is gone. Similarly, the taste for Krishna will come only by chanting his names. Initially, even that might be bitter, but still one has to chant his holy names to get the taste of the holy name. So in Telugu, there is one song, Ramajogi Mandu Konve, like that. Ramajogi Mandu Konve means that saint is trying to sell the medicines of medicine called as Ramanama. So it is said, Katiga Kundalu Vanti Karmamulu Padagote Mandu. Means if there is a hill like Katiga, means the what they call they put it in the eye, right? The Katiga. So if there is a mountain like full of black Katiga, if somebody's karma is like that, even that can be nullified by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And also in Ramaraksha Stotram there is one shloka: Bharjanam Bhavabijanam Arjanam Sukha Sampadam Tarjanam Yamadutanam Ramarameti Garjanam. Bharjanam Bhavabijanam. The Bhava Bija means the attraction, the affinity to enjoy the material opulences is roasted, Bharjanam. And Arjanam Sukha Sampadam. Arjanam means to collect. Sukha Sampadam. So peace and prosperity will come. One acquires. Tarjanam Yamadutanam. Yamadutas are sent away, they are sent running. So how? Rama Rameti Garjanam. If someone roars the Ramanama or Lord's names, Krishna or Rama's names, like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One enthusiastically, with taste, with full heart. If somebody is roaring the Lord's names, all these things happen. So first the material attachment is roasted, he gets peace and prosperity, and then Yamadutas really run away. We know that for sure because we have read the pastime of Jamila, wherein Yamadutas by mistake came. They did not know. Then they had a good lesson from Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, don't think I am your master. They were thinking, Yamadutas were thinking, Yamaraja is their master and nobody else. But then Yamaraja clarifies, no, I am not the only master. I am not the master. There is one master to all of us. And that master, like a bullock cart driver, he puts smooth on all of us. Like even Lord Brahma, Shiva, myself, everyone, we are all tied up by smooth, and he is the controller. Like that he mentions. And those who don't chant the holy names of the Lord, bring them, and don't bring those who are chanting the holy names of the Lord. Like that Yamaraj instructs the Yamadutas. So that is an example that Tarjanam Yamadutana. This is how Yamadutas ran away from that place after getting some instruction from Vishnu Dutas. So all this could be possible: chanting of the holy name and giving Bhagavatam lecture, Bhagavad Gita recitation, Kirtan, Nagar Sankirtan, peaceful life, and what not, only because of Srila Prabhupada. Only because of Prabhupada's books and Prabhupada's glories can never be given justification by somebody like me. So we can only offer our humble obeisances with utmost humility. So it is said, Janasya Krishnat Vimukasya Daivat Adharmashilasya Sukidukyatasya Anugrahayeha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. O Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. So there are many people, they have turned away their face from Krishna. They don't know why. Because there is no taste. But they are attracted by the other taste. Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Daivad Adharma Shilasya. And they are some are deliberately not following dharma. Adharma Shilas Sudukitasya. And there are very sad people. They are sad for unknown reason, some reason of their own. Anugrahayeha Charanti Nunam. Just for giving anugraha, anugraha, Charanti Nunam. They go everywhere. They go all around the place. So that is what Prabhupada did. He went all around the world to give this anugraha. And they are the representatives of the Lord. Lord won't come just like that to give anugraha everywhere. They send, first of all, only the acharyas are sent, and acharyas are no less than Lord himself. bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. To give the love of Janardanasya, they send acharyas who go to such places and give this mercy. Hare Krishna, Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks a lot for the wonderful class.
Thank you. Prabhu.
Like you mentioned, how everybody, like nobody is nobody is perfect. And with the examples of Lord Brahma, then Shiva, Chitraket Maharaj, so all those examples, you told that like how nobody is perfect. And with the example of Samudra Manthan, when Mother Lakshmi appeared, she was looking for the shelter. So she took the shelter of the perfect person, Sarvaguna Sampanna, which is Vishnu. So similarly, we should also take, and at the end, you mentioned that you have given the solution for like how to get rid of all these imperfect things, like by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And devotees are not interested in any of the positions or any of those things except the service to the Lord. Devotees lines are unmuted. Devotees can unmute and ask any questions or any comments. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Gaurchandra Gopinath Prabhu mentioned that thanks for the wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, any other questions?
Thank you, Satcitanaya Prabhu. Thank you, Satcitanaya Prabhu. Thank you for a very nice class. Despite your bad health, you have given class. Thank you, Prabhu.